Hey guys, welcome to Team Fit to Fight's call. It is August 25th. It is Monday night at 8:06. Started 6 minutes late. Just talking a little bit about Summit and how excited we are. We have our team design is in the process of being finalized. You do have, I am very particular. I would hate to be the graphic designer on the other side of me, but I have a vision for our team and I'm so excited to kind of have the design to back it up. Uh, someone's face is down there. But anyways, tonight I want to go over just a couple things with you guys. Just basically about sharing your story. And, a lot of time, like a lot of you coaches, I have to be honest, like you guys might not even know my story. A lot of you guys, I don't really know your story or, I know like some of your guys is whys, but we were kind of talking about this earlier, sharing even, your goals for what's happening in the next couple months or what you want to accomplish or your story of where you started. Did you overcome an unhealthy relationship? Like for me, that's a big thing in my story of what kind of like kickstarted my journey into being independent and wanting to do things for myself. That kind of led me down the path of making an independent income, and now I live in 7 states away. I moved and I live somewhere beautiful. Sharing a story like that. Even if you feel, and we kind of talked about this, even if you feel like it's insignificant, you can definitely, enlighten somebody's life, or you can touch somebody's life just by, okay, hey, well, they overcame a tough time, or hey, like they struggled in college, or, maybe I need to take the plunge and get out of an unhealthy relationship, or whatever it may be, having more faith in yourself and things like that. But that's kind of like, honestly, guys, that's my main thing is I don't think we are sharing ourselves enough. I don't think we're sharing our stories enough, whether it be a transformation story, which some of you guys look amazing from your before and afters, or whether it be a faith story, finding your faith, finding who you are, or, whatever it may be, a financial story. Some of you girls have like come out in a tremendous amount of debt from Beachbody, or the things that you've learned, how to love yourself even it's huge. And even if you don't think anybody's listening or watching, if you don't get 100 likes or you get 5 likes, like there's somebody out there watching you. And I think we all have a little testimony about that, we've all gotten that message like, hey, I saw that you're doing this. I didn't want to say anything because I wasn't for sure about it. Or, that message where, like you're like, wait, really? You're following me? Like, that's impressive. So that's why I just want to say is like, put yourself out there, and a lot of times being your authentic self, or, taking that scary plunge and sharing who you are kind of helps you find love for yourself again. I know like sometimes, like us women, we always have so much going on. We have like this and this, and sometimes we don't feel like we're enough, or sometimes we don't feel like we have it all together. But like when you look back and you look at your accomplishments and all the things that you've overcome, I think like the proof is in the pudding that you're strong and that you're able. And I think sharing that story really gives us our own kind of power anyway. So just do it for you. Just go on your Facebook, share your story, and just feel good about it. Walk away after and say, hey, like that's who I am. I mean, it's kind of cliche, whatever, but I mean, and I am definitely going to challenge myself to do that this week. My transformation, I still am kind of embarrassed about it, but I like when people are like, you go girl. And I kind of like, I know it's super cliche, but it's nice to hear that little, like that pat on the back, like, hey, we are watching you, or whatever's going on, or, hey, that's awesome. You got out of an unhealthy relationship, or whatever's going on. Also, there's something to be said about putting your goals in public. I want to talk to you guys about that also. One second. Sorry, I have a phone call. Okay. So putting your goals in public, whether they, like they call them big, scary, hairy goals, uh, like for example, I know, probably in a couple months to come, I'll probably be talking to like, some of you should be thinking about Elite. Some of you should be thinking about how you can match your income. Some of you should be thinking about, hey, how can I pay all my bills with Beachbody? Those are goals that you can go public with. If you're thinking like, hey, by the end of this month, I want to add 5 people on my team, like that's what's going to happen. But like, just go public with their, it adds more accountability when you're saying, hey world, I'm going to lose 30 pounds. So watch me work. Or, hey guys, I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom, or I'm going to be a stay-at-home whatever, adventurer, traveler, or professional fun haver, as Hillary Kelly would say. I don't know if you guys follow her. She's a 2-star 15-time coach. Her team's called Professional Fun Haver. So whatever it is that suits your fancy, just go public with it. And it kind of seems fun. It's fun because, as a team, we all have each other's back. So whether or not you think, okay, this is like going to be crazy for Facebook to hear, but I totally want to go for like the top 500 next year or top 200. Whatever it is totally doable. Just put it out there. And then, hey, you never know. Time Hop app a year from now is going to be like, hey, you wanted to be in the top 500 and you just reached 380. Like, go out and celebrate. Go out and tell your team so they can celebrate you. Like, let's celebrate everything that happens. That's what else I had down. And then, so your big, hairy, scary goals, and I know this is kind of basic, but I think we really do forget, is to break them down into small goals. Like, what are the small things that you do every day to reach those? So what are 2 things or 3 things, 1 thing, whatever it is that you could do a day to reach that big goal? So you want to be a stay-at-home mom. Okay, so we all know being a stay-at-home mom takes financial ability. Or you want to have more fun financial time or fun financial money. That takes money. So one of your goals should be to hit Success Club 5 each month. So you're breaking it down. So that would also equal, Success Club 5, you're helping 3 people. So you want to invite probably 15 people a month. It's the 3 out of 15 is, good enough to get you SC5. And that's going to help you build momentum in your business, help you build rank, which will also help you in your end goal. So when you reverse engineer your goals like that and you strive and you believe that they can happen, then they will. So I challenge you guys with me, because they like sharing your life story on Facebook is like, please no. But if we could just do it as a team, I think it'd be kind of cool. If you want to tag each other in each other's posts to get some feedback, some momentum on the page, like you're not out there sticking your neck out there waiting for somebody to like chop off your neck. Oh God, why did I post this? And just tag us, then we'll all support you. And I think that's the easiest way to do it, is whether you're going to post future goals or you're going to post your past story. I think something just to kind of grasp on your page who you are, or what you're going for, or what you're going through, or whatever it is. That's why I challenge you guys to do this week. And I also want to just kind of bring up, it's towards the end of the month. We have a couple days left. I know a couple days are real close to Success Club. Do whatever it takes. I know, like I don't like to stay up late, but I probably will be up late for the next couple of months because my Success Club points are not where I want them to be. So just doing whatever it takes, because again, my big, hairy, scary goal is to be retired before I'm 22. So I have to make that happen, and so like whatever is going on, make it happen. Don't let the excuses get in your way. Don't let your own critiquing of yourself get in the way. For example, I wanted to share my 3-day refresh results, and I'll just tell you guys how I kind of had that moment. I texted my family my before and afters, and I lost 11 pounds in 3 days. And I thought, oh, well, it's probably just because, I drank a lot, or I didn't really drink that much, but I was like, oh, it's water weight, it's alcohol weight, it's totally like, it doesn't even count. I mean, like, I'm like, there's not even a difference before and after. And I texted my family, they're like, you're crazy. And, like, we're just such hard critics on ourselves. It's insane. And so, like, if you could just step out of your own way for a minute and just hit post, then I think you'd really find that a lot more people are amazed by you than you give yourself credit for. So step out of your comfort zone with me as a team, and let's just go out and share with the world who we are, what we've been through, and see if anybody relates. Because there's nothing like getting that message like, hey, like, I saw your post and I'm really glad you did that, or like, hey, thank you for sharing. I'm sure a bunch of you guys have gotten a message like that, or somebody said something like that, and it really pulls you at your heart and reminds you why you're doing this. So that's all I have. It only took me 20 minutes to ramble that much, but I kind of want to open the floor, and we kind of talked about this, but I want to see if there's anything that I could do as a coach to help you guys out this week. Is there anything, I also, like, anything you guys have questions about, I also want to see your opinions. I want to open the floor to you guys about incentives for Success Club 5. And usually, like, I really don't open the floor to this topic, but I want to see, are there other Rubies out there? Are there anybody else who's, like, if they see something that you could win for free, or you could get, or recognition of some sort, like, is there anybody else that kind of strikes at their heart? Because for me, I'm like, you better get out of the way, because, like, I'm going to get that before all y'all or whatever. So I'm going to open the floor. Whatever you guys want to say, anything that's on your mind. Oh, we lost the caller.
Okay, so when you're sharing your story, like you're suggesting a share on Facebook, like what would you say is a good, like, I don't know, like, I guess, like a tie-in for, like, I guess I feel like I would need a reason to do it. I don't know how to.
Like, how to start?
Yeah, and I don't know. That makes me feel like super vulnerable, so help me out here.
Yeah, okay, so, like, for me, it's an uncomfortable kind of situation, I guess. So I would kind of probably start my post, and I think I have before, is like, okay, guys, like, I'm totally putting myself out here, but I feel like this is weighing heavy on my heart. Whether it be transformation, a faith story, a health story, a financial story, just, it's weighing on my heart, and I feel an obligation to tell you guys, what's been going on, whether, that's probably basically how it would start mine, is I feel the obligation to share with you guys how this has changed my life. Or, something that it's kind of like writing an essay, like, what's going to grab somebody's attention that first sentence? Like, for me, if somebody's like, okay, I feel the need, it's necessity, it's weighing on my heart to share this story, then I probably read it. But if that doesn't sound like something that would work for your audience, if you kind of took a step back and you were scrolling through your Facebook and you saw someone write, like, a significant paragraph, whatever, a couple lines, what would capture you into reading that? Does that help a little bit? I don't know if it did.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, no problem.
I love you. Sorry.
It's okay. Sam, else have any questions?
I do. I was talking with Nina about this today, because she sent these posts to me about these women that are trying to empower other women, and their stories were so deep and passionate, and it made me appreciate that I haven't had to go through such hardship, but at the same time, I feel like what I've been through is so insignificant that it would be almost pathetic to try to get attention for it. And I don't know if that's just because I feel like I've never really gone through real hardship. I don't know. I don't.
Right.
I
And
feel like I wouldn't be able to dig deep enough. But when I sit here and I think about everything that I've been through in the past 6 months, like,
yeah.
Dude,
it's not something I feel like I want. People don't want to hear that. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like they like attention. Maybe it's just me being a critic, but
Yeah, you definitely,
Melissa
Jess, I think you, what? Jess, you
I
can
am.
talk.
Yeah, Melissa, when you probably already know what I'm gonna say, and I feel like you're a silly girl, but it's okay. I still love you. Dude, when you were going through all the stuff that you were going through, I told you that someone needs to hear how you are now because they're probably struggling with the exact thing that you went through 6 months ago. But I know, like, you are a very quiet natured person when it comes to sharing your details and stuff. But there's some girl struggling right now looking to talk to you, and you got to just push a little. Like, I would definitely, your story is a story that should be told because there's so many women that need to hear how to overcome those things. So don't think that it's insignificant because it's not.
I agree. And I think like it really does go back to being like such a hard critic on yourself. And I think, we could all like, we're all probably guilty of chalking up things that we've been through as nothing because at the time, going through a storm, you're strong because you have to be. And you never realize that there's another way to be except strong while you're going through it. And I think that's the reason we find it so insignificant. But I think if we really look back at our story, I just became vulnerable about it, that, whether or not it signs people up on Beachbody, like that's not the goal. The goal is to, if you can inspire one person by saying that, you found a self-love for yourself, even though you're still, you're building it stronger and stronger every day. Somebody out there is looking for that. Or for example, like my story, like I always say unhealthy relationship, but it's really at the end of the day is like, I was being tested from God and I knew I had to pass that test. So if somebody's out there struggling with what should they do, follow that inner feeling in your gut. And that's what you should do. So it definitely, it's hard because I know it's like, it's a confidence, like you're putting your neck out there and you're critiquing yourself. You probably will read it at least 20 times. I know one time Jess was going to post something on her wall. She waited, what was it, Jess? Like you waited 2 weeks to post something on your wall once that made you feel vulnerable. And I've done it before. I've reread mine, God, like a million times before I post mine, but just hit post. And I can almost promise you that somebody's going to say, you're so inspiring, or they're going to want to, follow your journey a little more and say like, hey, what's going on, or stuff like that.
Or if worse comes to worse, the thing with Facebook is like, sometimes like today during my like lunch break or whatever, I posted that stupid question about cutting your finger. Like if you were to post something vulnerable and you left it, you said to yourself, okay, this is really hard for me to post. No matter what happens, I'm going to post it right now. It's noon. And when I get out of work, if I either have no comments or no likes or nothing on it, I'm going to delete it. Or if people start talking crap, I'm going to delete it. But at the end of the, like, you can delete those things and they're gone and no one is going to remember it, I mean, they probably will if it's crazy.
And I kind of like, just to piggyback off that, like, just come out and say, hey, this is really hard for me to do, but I want to share. I want to open up to you guys because I want to, I want to be a part of your life. So I just want to be real with you guys for a minute. And I think that each of you women on here, I see your faces and you guys all have beautiful stories. So I do not see any reason that you guys should be holding that back. I mean, I could probably think of, like, Melissa, just thinking about something like the beautiful things you can write, or Nina, like the beautiful story you have, or, like the things that you women are capable of is just, God, that would empower me. I mean, that's what our team's about, is just empowering other women and other men to just be strong in who they are. So just ripping the Band-Aid off, getting a little uncomfortable for the benefit of someone else to kind of see the light at the time, I think what is definitely worth it in my eyes. So I hope you guys take the challenge with me.
Now, do you have any suggestions on like how to piece everything together? Because I mean, I could start all the way back from when I was really overweight in middle school to, the past 6 months of my life, but that would be the longest book ever.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's so discombobulated. Should I just open Notepad or get a piece of paper and just start writing?
I think like something, like that sounds like a really healthy exercise for all of us. It's just to write down everything, give yourself a pat on the back, or write down the things you've been through. Write a beautiful story. Whether or not you post the whole thing on your blog or on Facebook is up to you. But I think, when you look back in your inner life or whatever, I think there's that moment where there's some sort of clarity. There's some sort of point where there is no turning back. There's that moment. And I think like maybe going from that moment forward and seeing how you've changed your life, I think that's something you can share. I mean, obviously, like losing weight and everything, but I think your most recent obstacle that you've overcome, I would kind of start there, or whatever tugs at your heartstrings that you want to share. I think writing the whole thing out, and when you get to that moment where you're like, I have to share this, like there's no reason to hold this back. Like God is putting this on my heart to share because there's another woman out there who needs to hear this. I think that's probably a good start. I mean, I can't tell you specifically, which I know this is like a whole roundabout answer, but I think if you write the whole thing, that you'll feel that moment of when you decide there's no turning back. There's no more. I don't know if that helps.
It does. It helps a lot. And I used to do that all the time. I used to keep a journal, and like every day I'd write before I went to bed and kind of like let all that negative energy go.
Yeah.
I stopped doing it. I think it would help a lot.
Yeah, you definitely should. That's probably like, that's an amazing exercise. Geez, like if people were to do that, I think a lot more books would be wrote or written, whatever. I think, like I would love to see, like, I love reading those kind of things to like, what happened? What was that moment when this girl decided enough's enough? So, I would definitely do that. That's a great exercise.
I'm getting teary-eyed.
Me too. I'm like, my heart's racing. Well, I'm excited to read everybody's. And I think taking that idea from Melissa and kind of writing your whole story, reading what you've been through and looking back on the storms you've been through, because nobody ever, like, you come out of a storm and you just thank God that you've made it through, but you never look back and say, holy cow, like, thank God that I was strong enough, or thank God, like, look at where I am now because that happened. Sometimes it takes, like, you really kind of go out of your box to look back and reflect on those hard times, which is hard to say the least. But anyways, well, this is probably like the more like emotional call. But I'm really excited. I think during the week, I want to see you guys' stories, and I think it's going to be important because this is going to be something we're opening that boot camp for September 8th, which I'll be posting about more on the team page. But this is going to be huge for, leading by example and, grabbing, just kind of having your coaches grasp who you are and what you've been through. Because to be honest, like, I don't know, like I said in the beginning of the call, I don't know everybody's story, and I really want to. I really want to know about you girls, and, I want to talk about it. I want to read it and all that stuff. If anybody else has any other comments, I open the floor to you, or else I'm just going to say I look forward to seeing your guys' Facebook posts. And if you guys need if you guys are feeling a little like your neck's really out there, just tag us all in it. Tag your teammates, your coaches, or whatever. And I'll just add the likes, and, it'll help. Trust me. Right. Any other comments from the peanut gallery? No? All right. Jess, I see you're off mute. Do you have anything?
Oh, no. I'm good.
Okay. Alrighty, guys. Well, I hope you guys have a great week, and I am excited to see your post. And thank you for hopping on the call. I will see you guys next week. Bye.